Finals. Coach Snall, we'll start with an opening statement from you.
I fill this seat with gratitude, and I'd like to start by just expressing my gratitude first to our players. In June, when I was awarded this job, these guys, their level of commitment, the sacrifices they made, the investment that these guys put into this year, I'm grateful. Secondly is our staff. We talk a lot about is you're only as good as the people that you're around day after day, and I'm fortunate to have a staff that challenges me, that motivates me, that makes me better. Our associate head coach, Chad Oxendine, our pitching coach, Matt Williams, our infield hitting coach, Matt Schilling, our director of baseball operations, Mickey Beach, our director of player development, Tyler Shoemaker, our assistant director of player development, Connor Owings, our director of analytics, Matt Pepin, our strength and conditioning coach, Michael Thompson, our athletic trainer, Amanda Rothmeyer, our equipment manager, Jordan Bowman, our sport oversight, associate athletic director, Brian Stiles. I'm fortunate to be on their team. They make me better every day. Thirdly, our student managers. These guys invest more time into our program, or as much time in our program as anybody else. Our student managers play just the biggest role in our success as Jacob Morrison, as Caden Bodine. And we're in this position today because of the sacrifices and work ethic of them. And then lastly, my family, our kids, Sydney, Jaden, Fallon, my wife, Megan. They're the ones that have made the ultimate sacrifice to allow me to do what I do. And there's nobody that I want to make more proud of me than them. It's because I'm so proud of them.
Okay, at this time, we'll open it up to questions for Coach Snall.
Noah Bieniek, 11.7. Coach, I'm going to piggyback two questions off of you, if that's okay. I mentioned, or I talked to the guys, championship teams usually learn through adversity throughout the season. You began 18-8. You finished 38-3, and you're still playing here today in Omaha. They mentioned possibly learning some roles. Was there some player personnel things that you learned throughout the first 2 months of the season that have helped you go on this run late in the year?
No, not really. We talk a lot about work while you wait. Injuries are a reality of a season, unfortunately. We've had some injuries, and the guys that were working while they were waiting were ready for their opportunities, and that's what has enabled us to maintain the success that we have this year. But there's no direct situation that happened. At the end of the day, it all started in August when we all came together for the first time, and we feel like what separates Coastal baseball day in and day out is our attention to detail, and we have very high standards, and we're very consistent with holding everybody accountable to those standards.
The other day, when I mentioned how do you guys play so consistently, a couple of answers you gave me were scoring first, winning the big inning battle. In doing that, over the 26-game win streak, 23 of those, Walker Mitchell has been batting in the top 4 of the lineup. Can you talk about, that kid? He began the year opening weekend batting 9th for you guys, and I feel like maybe has he taken some big steps for you guys throughout the season? And in a sport like baseball, it's hard to maintain consistency, yet you are 25-1 when he bats in the top 4 of the lineup.
That's a lot what you just said, so let me try to figure this out. So scoring first is a big part of our offense, absolutely. We're 37-2 when we score first. When we get to 7, we're 37-1, and we win the big inning war, we're 42-1. So as a collective unit, that's what we're trying to do every single day. Walter Walker Mitchell is a part of that unit, and he's done a great job of finding ways on base. He broke a single-season record with hit by pitches. He can inside game, and he has a lot of really quality at bats, and that's why he's moved himself up in the lineup.
Coach, as a member of that 2016 staff, what do you remember about that series against Jay Johnson in Arizona, and how does that experience sort of against him help you this week?
Well, the biggest difference between this year and 16 was all the shampoo and body spray that we got every time we showed up to the ballpark. We don't get it this year for some reason. We would like it because we've talked a lot about it. I actually still have some of the body spray from 16. There's not an expiration date, so I'm still using some. That's the biggest difference, and the fact that we didn't lose. But there's no experience we're taking from 16. None of these players were on 16. This team is different than 2016. Our goal every day is just to really keep a microscopic focus and dominate our one-day plan. This team has done that at an extreme high level, and that's why we're one of 2 teams in the entire country still playing.
Wilson Moore, the Omaha World Herald. Kevin, having been part of a CWS team before, at what point did you know this team had the makeup to get to the point it's at now?
Game 2 of Auburn when we beat them.
Why is that?
Because then we advanced here. Again, we're never talking about winning games. It's all about the process and winning pitches, and then ultimately winning outs, winning innings, and bunching quality at bats together. And if we do that day after day, winning is a byproduct. Getting to Omaha is a byproduct. And that's why we're in this position right now.
Kevin, I got 2 questions. Who are you going with tomorrow? If you could explain, if you even want to put that out there. Second question is, what did you learn in 16 as a coaching staff? Because a lot of these guys, you and Shill were obviously on that squad, that could help you as a head coach now prepare for this series. Without the body spray.
Without the body spray. Cam Flukie will be starting tomorrow. And what did we learn from 2016 that could help us? It's more about next year, honestly. You know, there's a lot of distractions after winning a national championship or being in this position. It's really important that, we stay focused next year on our goals. I think that was a big deal. If you remember, in 2007, we did not make an NCAA regional. It was a good team, but we didn't make an NCAA regional. There was a lot of distractions that fall because there were a lot of people that were, wanting our players and wanting, our people to be at different things. And again, I think it took away from our preparation in that fall before the 07 season. I think one of the biggest years in Coastal was, a couple. 01 was the first team that got us to a regional. And then we ended up winning 5 straight conference championships, 5 straight tournament championships. In 05 was the first team to be the #1 seed of a regional, but they put us on the road to Arizona State. 06, we were 30-27. And it was a great wake-up call. It was humbling. And to Gilly's credit, he was the leader at that time. We all rallied around each other. We didn't point fingers. And we realized that we needed to be humbled. And we needed to get back to the basics. 07 was our first host. 08, we hosted again and was our first regional championship. So those years were pretty critical. And then obviously 2010 was one of the best teams that we ever had. We were the #4 national seed, won the regional, lost in the super regional, 2 one-run games to the eventual national champion. And then 2016 obviously finally broke through, got us to Omaha, and won it.
Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. The guys used the phrase coastal baseball a couple of times. What does that mean to you, whether that be attitude or approach? And then anything that you've identified that LSU does particularly well?
Well, Coastal baseball, you have to have a certain type of energy level to play at Coastal Carolina. If you like baseball, Coastal's not the program for you. Two pillars of Coastal Carolina are the words relentless and selfless. And relentless is basically doing everything to your best of your ability every single day. And selfless is having an others-centered mindset versus a self-centered mindset. And that is non-negotiable in our program. Regarding LSU, it's pretty simple. They've got power on both sides of the ball. They have over 100 home runs. They've got over 700 strikeouts. That combination is very dangerous.
Just a reminder to silence your cell phones.
Hi, Kevin. Corey Diaz with the USA Today Network. Wanted to get your thoughts on everyone outside of the state of Louisiana pulling for Coastal Carolina this weekend. How cool is that, or is that something you don't even worry about?
Well, I would start by the Chanticleer Athletic Foundation. It's a great opportunity to give back and donate, and all the support matters.
Kevin, you kind of touched it all already, but coming full circle as a player, as a coach, and as an assistant coach and now a head coach here, just talk about what it means to you to see this program over the last couple of decades, whenever you were a player until now, to see the success.
Well, it all started with a chance. You know, Coach Gilmore gave me a chance back in 1997 to play Division I baseball at Coastal Carolina. Then in 2000, he gave me a chance to be a coach on his staff. And if it wasn't for those chances, I'm not sure where I'm at today. And just to see not only Coastal baseball, but Coastal Carolina University grow into what it is today is really special.
Ryan McGee from ESPN. You kind of touched on that there, Coach, but this is your alma mater. How much does it mean to you, and you've been here before with this team in different roles, but how much does it mean to you, or have you given yourself a chance to even think about this is your school, and you've got them in this position this weekend at the College World Series?
I listen to your show a lot. Good to see you. I love Coastal. I love Coastal with all my heart. You know, I've had opportunities. For me, it was never about being a head coach. It was about being the head coach at Coastal Carolina. And, you know, I waited 24 years for this opportunity. And like I said, when I started, I fill this seat with gratitude. There's not a day that goes by I take this opportunity for granted. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. It's an honor of a lifetime. And to be on this stage, on this platform, with this program, it's really special.
Matt Satilli, KETV Omaha. Coach, you've talked about, in the back, you've talked throughout the week how this hasn't been a Cinderella story. What would a second national title this weekend mean to this program?
That'd be 2 national championships in 9 years. That would put Coastal Carolina baseball on a different planet. That'd put Coastal Carolina University in a really good position. And again, that's really special. But it's not about winning a national championship at this point. It's about winning today's practice. And that's what's really important. At 12 o'clock, we have to win the next hour and a half. We've got to have a great session today. And then we've got to win tomorrow's BP. And then it's about just winning pitches, not worrying about outs, winning pitches. And if you win pitches, you'll start getting outs. And before you know it, you hold that up.
We're going to take one more question for Coach.
John Eads, WFB TV in Baton Rouge. Coach, obviously you've been a part of lengthy win streaks before, I'm sure. You talk about the process. Obviously you don't plan on losing. What would your process be for if y'all were to lose a game and bouncing back quickly in the series this weekend?
Well, the staff would yell at the players a lot. We've won 26 straight. If we lost, how would we react? How would we respond? The reality is we've got to dissect what we did wrong and try to rectify it for the next day. You know, and that's what we've done a great job of this year is we've dove into things that, you know, we could correct, and our players were able to adapt and adjust very quickly.
Okay, that'll conclude this press conference. At this time, we're going to welcome LSU head coach